Alright, so we're back with another video, and you guys already know that it's time for some scooter action. Alright, so we are going to be doing the R1 Fender on this puppy. So, if you guys have a Maddog or the Icebear, the Icebear Maddog or the Honda Ruckus, you're going to probably want to have some kind of fender on here because it does fling up stuff. So, one of the options for that is in that box. So in this box, which is going to be from Reckless Customs, we have some paper. We have the good old tried and true Yamaha R1 Fender. And we already have our Reckless Customs mount. I'm going to go ahead and unbox all this. Alright, so as you guys can tell that I have the Reckless Customs R1 Fender Kit here with their bracket. This is the main thing that they get, is the bracket. The fender you can kind of order, well, anywhere. It's a Yamaha part, so. And the part number for that, like I showed you in the last one, but if you guys didn't catch it, bam, there you go. I'll even drop this part number down in the description as well, so if you guys want to just order just the fender, you can, but it is a genuine Yamaha part. So, Yamaha R1 Fender, these come in the ABS plastic, or you can get them in carbon fiber as well. I went with the ABS because I do plan on painting it, so plastic it is. Plus, if there's any modifications, I'm going to feel super bad about drilling apart carbon fiber. So, with that being said, this bracket is a pretty simple design. Obviously, these two top bolts, two top, and then the one bottom, which is going to mount to on your exhaust side. It's going to work for all the scooters, but this one is particularly going to be going for the Maddogs. Now, all of them are going to use this top mount right here, this top bolt. So you're going to take this bolt out, you're going to use this bolt, and then on the back side of it, when the bracket goes through, you're going to have the spacers and washers to use, and then the locking nut, the nylon, and this is going to end up locking it on. So you're going to be like this. Well, the screw is going to be going through, but be like that, and then you'll have the nut. Or you can put it through the other way. Either one. I think I'm going to run it this way. That way I have the Allen key side out and then the nut in. I'm worried a little bit about the setup on this because when you go to put it through, there's not really any directions, but like I said, that's going to be too far to the right. Even with the spacer, I highly doubt it's not gonna really be even, so maybe I'll play around with it a little bit. But first things first is to go ahead and take this off, and I'll have to go through the tools I have, but I'm thinking it's gonna be probably like at a 7 or 8 Allen key. 1 second and we will find out. Alright, so I tried a few of them. If you guys don't have any of these things come in handy big time. Got this thing over at Harbor Freight, but it's going to end up being a number 6. So a number 6 on the Allen keys, and then here you go. So I'm going to go ahead, zip this bolt out, and we'll see how fitment goes. Alright, so I got that bolt out. Obviously you can definitely tell there is a major difference between the two. This is stock, this is coming with the kit. So like I said, I'm going to run this through because the block is threaded. So I'm going to thread this bolt through, and then I can start adjusting with washers and whether I want to run it this way or this way. It's going to be all trial and error. So I'm going to go ahead and zip that on, and then we'll start doing spacing on it. Okay, so I got the bolt ran through. As you can tell, we do have a lot of space to work with here. So I'm going to go ahead and start running these spacers on and see how that's going to work. I am going to try to kick this thing to try to hold itself up a little bit, because once I start putting these spacers on, I feel like they're just going to start sliding back off or be a pain to take off. I think I'm going to run all the spacers. So the spacer and the 2 washers, I'm going to slide on there and see what happens. I'll put the thicker spacer first, and then I'll put the washer behind it, and then we'll see how the gappage is on that. Alright, so as you can see, I do have the 1 spacer on it down here. So I have the 1 spacer and then the actual washer on it. I'm going to go ahead and put this bracket on like this first to see what the orientation's like. Slide it on down in here. So with it being like that, Looks like we're a little bit to the outside of the tread to the left. Back that back off. And then if I flip the bracket around, so if I flip the bracket around to where it comes out further this way, way off to the right. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it flipped like this, use that one spacer, one washer, and see how the fender is sitting in here. It looks like once it's fully tightened, it's going to be probably all the way. So what I think I'm going to do is take this little washer out of it, put it up here on the seat, turn this back on. So that's going to put this about right there in the center. So yeah, I'll probably going to run both washers because it seems like it's going to kick that fender off way to the right. So I'm going to go ahead, add the second washer, and then I'm going to go ahead and put this bracket on and see how it feels. Okay, so with both washers and the spacer on, we're looking about even. Once it actually gets tightened down, it's going to draw it a little bit closer. And maybe a little offset still, but you're going to want to have some space between the shock because this will probably hit. I'm going to go ahead and put the fender on with these two bolts, and then we're going to see exactly how it's sitting left to right wise. Okay, so I just got this fender mounted on. I had to dig through, as you can see I made a mess. I had to dig through to find the Allen key for it, but it looks like it's going to be a 5/16 Allen key. So 5/16 Allen key is going to fasten the fender to the bracket. Alright, so I got it pretty mocked up. As you can tell, it definitely does kick off to the side a little bit more. But this is me edging it so it's cleared with the shock. It does look pretty decent. You can definitely tell it is a little offset. I'd have to come this way a little bit more. And in order to do that, I'd have to either bend the bracket this way and then kind of straighten it back out. But then at that point, it would end up touching the shock. So I think I'm going to run it like this, even though you can kind of see that it is a little off. Later on when I go, it's kind of more or less meant for the bigger wheel setup, which I will be doing eventually, but for right now, it's not too bad, but you can definitely see it's a little bit left bias. But like I said, once I do go with a different set of wheels, it'll even itself back out, and you can't really notice it unless you're like hardcore paying attention to it. But it does look pretty decent. Kind of gives it like that batwing look. I could lower that profile on it, but like I said, you're gonna have to bend the bracket because the way this bracket is set up, it's really straight up and down. So if you can bend it, it'll end up helping it a little bit, so it's not such a high gap. But well, like I said, it's a pretty decent gap that I know it won't drag against the tire. Once again, though, it's starting to get windy. It looks like it's gonna thunderstorm. It's blowing everything around in the garage now. But overall, not that hard of a deal to do. So the back of that nut is going to be a 13 millimeter. The front of it is still going to utilize the size 6 Allen key, and then you can get the fender tapped on with the 5/16 Allen key. All in all, it was like, I think it was like $80 for the fender and the bracket, so it looks good. I think I'm going to run it like this until I make a final adjustment. But yeah, like always, make sure you use some kind of Loctite. I would use a blue Loctite on it just to make sure everything is good and copacetic and locked on. But I think for this video, guys, I think that's going to do it. Definitely looks way better than the blue one, and it kind of cleans it up so you can kind of still get that wing look out of it and then show off the back tire a little bit. When, like I said, once you swap to maybe like a rounded tire setup, you're definitely going to want to probably bend that bracket so it kind of curves with the tire setup, versus like the flat one's easy to get away with a lot because, well, it's more flat than anything, but the rounded setup is probably going to start dragging on that bracket, especially down there. If you can actually see, that spacer hangs down a little bit, so there's already an issue with the case dragging, let alone that spacer coming down a little bit past that. So, but like always, if you guys want to see more content with the scooter, like I said, I still have to get the ankle biter, which I did reorder from TRS, the Ruck Shop. So hopefully it's the same one that I just had, because I did order it in gloss black as well. So hopefully it does come and it actually fits this round, and that'll probably do me over pretty well for a little bit on this thing until I tackle the last step, which is going to be the exhaust. Like I said, I'm probably going to end up getting a hot lap type 666 exhaust for it, and yeah, once I do that, I'll probably ride it for a while until one of these tires goes out, and then once the tires go out, then that's when I'll think about doing the wheels. But like I said, pretty straightforward thing, honestly. It's like $80 for the setup for it. It looks pretty good. Unless you guys are going to make your own bracket, like I said, gave you the part number for the Fender, so if you want to make your own bracket, you can. Just showing you guys what Reckless Custom sends you. Overall, I think it's pretty decent. If you just don't want to mess with anything, you just want to bolt it right on, Reckless Customs is the way to go. No, this is not a paid promotion, but it's pretty decent looking, and it looks good. Kind of blends in with everything, and it shows off the back tire. But like I said, you're going to have to watch clearance on this shock, because this little earpiece is going to try to drag on it. But besides that, I think it looks great. So, if you're not already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel for some more scooter stuff. Also, if you're following for one of the many other cars, or the wind, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, and let me know in the comments if you guys do have any issues with it. I think it looks pretty decent. But yeah, besides that, if you can, we're growing the channel pretty good and pretty fast, guys, so if you can, go ahead and share the content. Let's keep growing this channel. Hopefully we can hit 6,000 before winter time. That'd be sweet. And at that point, this thing should be ready to be stripped down to be powder coated black, and then we'll have everything all set up for it. But besides that, thanks for watching, guys. If you do ride one of these, or even just generically driving around, be safe out there, guys, because the more and more we go on, driving gets a little bit ridiculous. So always stay on your guard. Alright? Peace, guys. Thanks for watching.